The unexpected inheritance. Jason Reed wiped the sweat from his brow as he tightened the last bolt on the rickety solar panel array. The unforgiving Nevada sun beat down on him, a constant reminder of Earth's changing climate and humanity's desperate scramble for sustainable energy. At 28, Jason had hoped his engineering degree would land him a cushy job in an air-conditioned office. Instead, he found himself in the middle of the desert, struggling to make ends meet. As he climbed down from the array, his comm band buzzed. Jason frowned. Nobody ever called him except his boss, usually to pile on more work. He tapped the device, and a holographic message sprang to life. "Greetings, Jason Reed of Earth," a melodious alien voice announced. "I regret to inform you that your friend, Zaxelor of Kepler 186f, has passed into the great beyond. As his chosen heir, you are requested to come to Kepler 186 immediately to claim your inheritance." Jason's jaw dropped. Zaxelor, dead, and he was a heir. His mind reeled as he remembered the strange alien he'd befriended 5 years ago during the first official cultural exchange between Earth and Kepler 186f. They'd bonded over a shared love of engineering and terrible puns, keeping in touch via subspace communications ever since. But heir? Jason shook his head in disbelief. He'd always assumed Zaxelor was just an ordinary alien citizen, not someone with an estate grand enough to warrant an official inheritance notice. As Jason drove his beat-up hover truck back to his tiny apartment, his mind raced with possibilities. What could Zaxelor have left him? The rational part of his brain tried to temper his expectations. For all he knew, he'd inherited some weird alien plant or a collection of incomprehensible art. But a smaller, more optimistic part of him dared to hope. Maybe, just maybe, this was his ticket off this dust ball and onto something greater. Back in his apartment, Jason quickly packed a bag, his hands shaking with excitement and nerves. The next transport to Kepler 186 had left in 3 days from the New Mexico spaceport. He'd have to quit his job, liquidate his meager savings, and pray it would be enough for the ticket. As he was about to leave, his comm band buzzed again. This time, it was a video call from an unknown number. Jason answered, and his eyes widened as he saw 2 stunningly beautiful alien women on the screen. "Greetings, Jason Reed," the taller one said, her skin a mesmerizing swirl of blue and silver. "I am Lyra, first bondmate of Zaxelor." "And I am Vela, second bondmate," the other added, her eyes shimmering like twin nebulae. "We look forward to welcoming you to Kepler 186f. Before Jason could stammer out a response, the call ended, leaving him staring at his reflection in the blank screen. Bondmates. As in, wives. He shook his head, trying to clear it. This day was getting stranger by the minute. 3 days later, Jason found himself strapped into a seat aboard the interstellar transport Cosmic Hummingbird, his stomach doing flips that had nothing to do with the ship's artificial gravity. As the blue marble of Earth shrank in the viewport, Jason couldn't shake the feeling that his life was about to change forever. The journey to Kepler 186 took 2 weeks in hyperspace. Jason spent most of it alternating between bouts of excitement and paralyzing anxiety. He devoured every bit of information he could find about Kepler 186 and its inhabitants, the Stellarians. The Stellarians were a highly advanced species, having achieved interstellar travel centuries before humans had even reached their own moon. They were known for their incredible longevity, complex social structures, and a deep connection to the cosmic energies that permeated the universe. Physically, they appeared remarkably humanoid, save for their vibrant skin colors and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. As the ship began its descent towards Kepler 186f, Jason pressed his face against the viewport, his breath fogging the glass. The alien world loomed before him, a tapestry of deep purples and swirling silver clouds. 2 moons hung in the sky, one a pale blue, the other a warm orange. The spaceport was a marvel of engineering, a sprawling complex of crystalline spires and anti-gravity platforms. As Jason disembarked, the alien atmosphere hit him like a wall. It wasn't unpleasant, just different, richer somehow, as if charged with an energy he could almost taste. Jason Reed of Earth. He turned to see Lyra and Vela approaching, even more stunning in person than they had been over video. They moved with an otherworldly grace, their steps so light they seemed to barely touch the ground. "Welcome to Kepler 186F, Lyra said, her voice like music. "We hope your journey was pleasant." Jason nodded, not trusting himself to speak. Up close, he could see that Lyra's skin wasn't just blue and silver, but an ever-shifting pattern that seemed to move with her emotions. Vela's eyes really did contain what looked like miniature galaxies, swirling in their depths. "You must be tired," Vela said, her voice softer but no less mesmerizing. "We've prepared a room for you at Zaxelor's estate. Tomorrow, we'll begin the inheritance proceedings." As they led him to a sleek hover vehicle, Jason finally found his voice. "I'm sorry for your loss. Zaxelor was a good friend." Lyra and Vela exchanged a look that Jason couldn't quite decipher. "Zaxelor chose his hair well," Lyra said. "He spoke often of your kindness and your potential." The hover vehicle zipped through the alien cityscape, a dizzying array of impossible architecture and bustling alien life. Jason tried to take it all in, but it was overwhelming. Every sight, every sound, every smell was a reminder that he was farther from home than any human had ever been. They arrived at a massive structure that seemed to defy gravity, all twisting spires and floating gardens. "Welcome to your new home," Vela said as they disembarked. Jason's jaw dropped. This is all mine." "This and much more," Lyra confirmed. "Zaxelor's estate is vast and complex. It will take time for you to fully understand your inheritance." As they entered the building, Jason gasped. The interior was a marvel of alien technology and artistry. Holographic displays flickered to life as they passed, showing data streams he couldn't begin to comprehend. Living plants seemed to grow out of the walls, their bioluminescent flowers pulsing in time with some unheard rhythm. They showed him to a spacious room with a view that took in the alien cityscape. As Jason sank onto a bed that seemed to mold itself to his body, the reality of his situation finally hit him. This wasn't just an inheritance. This was a new life, a new world, a new destiny. That night, as twin moons cast their glow through his window, Jason lay awake, his mind whirling. What had Zaxelor seen in him? Why choose a nobody from Earth as his heir? And what secrets lay hidden in this vast alien estate? Little did Jason know, his greatest challenges and his greatest adventures were just beginning. For the inheritance Zaxelor had left him was far more than mere wealth and property. It was a key to unlocking the very fate of two worlds and humanity's place among the stars. As sleep finally claimed him, Jason dreamed of swirling galaxies and a voice that sounded like Zaxelor's, whispering, "The future is in your hands now, my friend. Make it a bright one." Cosmic secrets unveiled. Jason awoke to the soft chiming of an alien alarm, his mind still groggy from dreams of swirling galaxies and whispered prophecies. As he sat up, the room's bioluminescent walls pulsed gently, adjusting to his circadian rhythm. It was his first full day on Kepler 186F, and the weight of his new reality pressed down on him like the gravity of a neutron star. "Good morning, Herr Reed," a disembodied voice announced, startling Jason. "I am ARIA, the Artificial Resonance Intelligence Assistant. Zaxelor created me to help you acclimate to your new role." Jason rubbed his eyes, trying to focus on the holographic interface that had materialized beside his bed. Good morning. Oh, yeah. And please just call me Jason." "As you wish, Jason," Ariah replied, her voice melodious yet clearly synthetic. "Lyra and Vela await you in the celestial garden for the inheritance ceremony. Shall I guide you there?" As Jason followed Ariah's directions through the labyrinthine estate, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was walking through a dream. The corridors seemed to shift and change, adapting to his presence. Living artworks adorned the walls, depicting scenes from alien worlds that hurt his brain to look at for too long. Finally, he emerged into the celestial garden, and his breath caught in his throat. It was as if a piece of the cosmos had been transplanted into the heart of the estate. Miniature stars and nebulae floated overhead, casting an ethereal glow over the exotic flora below. In the center, Lyra and Vela stood beside a pulsing crystal obelisk. "Welcome, Jason," Lyra said, her skin shimmering with patterns that seemed to match the starscape above. "Are you ready to receive your inheritance?" Jason swallowed hard, his mouth suddenly dry. I think so, but I still don't understand. Why me? Why did Zaxelor choose me as his heir?" Vela's galaxy eyes softened. Zaxelor saw in you a quality rare in the universe, the human capacity for adaptive thinking. He believed that in the face of the coming storm, your species' unique perspective could be the key to salvation. Coming storm? Salvation? Jason's head spun. What are you talking about? Lyra placed her hand on the crystal obelisk, which began to glow more intensely. Perhaps it's best if Zaxelor explains himself. The air shimmered, and suddenly Zaxelor stood before them, or rather, a hyper-realistic hologram of him. The alien's familiar features brought a lump to Jason's throat. "My dear friend," the hologram began, its voice a perfect recreation of Zaxelor's warm tones. "If you're seeing this, then I have passed beyond the veil of this universe. But my work, our work, is far from over." The hologram waved its hand, and the celestial garden transformed. Suddenly, they were standing in the void of space, surrounded by countless galaxies. For millennia, the Stellarians have been the guardians of a cosmic secret. Zaxelor's image continued. "Our universe is but one of many, separated by the thinnest of membranes. And now that membrane is weakening." The view zoomed in on a particular spot in space, where Jason could see what looked like a tear in the fabric of reality itself. Through it, he glimpsed impossible colors and shapes that made his mind reel. "The void convergence approaches," Zaxelor said gravely. "A time when the barriers between universes will collapse, unleashing chaos beyond imagination. The Stellarians have long worked to prevent this, but we've grown stagnant, set in our ways. We need a fresh perspective. We need humanity's chaotic creativity." Jason's mind raced, trying to process the cosmic revelations being dumped on him. "But what can I do? I'm just an engineer from Earth." Zaxelor's hologram smiled. "You are so much more than that, Jason. In you, I saw the potential to bridge our worlds, to combine Stellarian knowledge with human ingenuity. My inheritance to you is not just wealth and technology, but a sacred duty. You must find a way to stop the void convergence and save not just our universe, but all of reality." The hologram faded, leaving Jason standing in stunned silence. Lyra and Vela watched him carefully, their expressions a mix of hope and concern. This is insane," Jason finally managed. "You can't seriously expect me to save the universe. I can barely keep a solar array functioning back on Earth." "You won't be alone," Vela said softly, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. The touch sent a tingling sensation through his body, as if her cosmic energy was connecting with his very atoms. "Lyra and I will guide you, as will the vast resources of Zaxelor's estate." Lyra nodded, her expression serious. "But make no mistake, Jason, the task ahead will be monumental. The fate of all existence rests in your hands." As if on cue, alarms began blaring throughout the estate. Aria's voice echoed urgently. "Warning. Dimensional anomaly detected in Sector 7G. Void entities breaching containment." Lyra and Vela exchanged alarmed glances. "It's starting," Lyra said grimly. "The convergence is accelerating. We're out of time." Jason's heart raced as Vela grabbed his hand, pulling him towards a section of the garden that was morphing into some kind of high-tech command center. "Ready or not, Jason Reed of Earth," she said, her galaxy eyes blazing with determination, Your trial by cosmic fire begins now. As holographic displays sprang to life around him, showing incomprehensible data streams and dire warnings, Jason took a deep breath. He thought of Earth, of all he'd left behind, of the unimaginable stakes now resting on his shoulders. For a moment, the task ahead seemed impossible. But then he remembered Zaxelo's faith in him, in humanity. He thought of all the times in history when humans have faced the impossible and triumphed through sheer determination and creativity. If the universe needed humanity's chaotic brilliance, then by God, he'd give it to them. "All right," Jason said, squaring his shoulders and facing the alien interfaces with newfound resolve. "Let's save reality." As Lyra and Vela beamed at him with pride, Jason dove into the cosmic crisis. The adventure of a lifetime, no, of all lifetimes across all universes, had begun, and at its heart stood a simple human engineer, armed with nothing but his wits, his newfound alien allies, and the unshakable human spirit that had taken his species from cave-dwelling primitives to the brink of universal salvation. The void convergence was coming, but humanity, in all its chaotic glory, was ready to face it head-on. Quantum entropy's edge. The cosmic command center hummed with energy as Jason's fingers danced across holographic interfaces. Sweat beaded on his brow, his human mind straining to process the multidimensional data streams flooding his consciousness. It had been 3 Earth weeks since the first void breach, and the situation was escalating faster than anyone had anticipated. HFY, run quantum simulation Alpha 9 again, Jason called out, his voice hoarse from hours of non-stop strategizing. Focus on the hyperdimensional nexus points we identified in the Andromeda sector. The A's response was instant. Simulation complete, Jason. Results: troubling. Void incursions increasing exponentially. Estimated time to total universal collapse: 72 standard hours. Lyra's silver-blue skin pulsed with worried patterns. "It's not enough. We're running out of time." Vela nodded grimly, her galaxy eyes swirling with turbulent nebulae. "The Stellarian High Council is demanding results. They're considering drastic measures." Jason's head snapped up. What kind of drastic measures? Lyra and Vela exchanged a loaded glance before Lyra spoke. "There's a weapon hidden in the heart of a dying star, the entropy cascade. It could potentially seal the void breaches, but what?" Jason pressed, a knot forming in his stomach. Vela's voice was barely a whisper. "It would destroy half the known universe in the process. Trillions of lives, countless civilizations, gone." Jason felt the weight of galaxies pressing down on him. He thought of Earth, of his family, of all the worlds he'd never see. "There has to be another way," he muttered, more to himself than to his alien companions. Suddenly, a memory surfaced, a conversation with Zaxelo years ago about the nature of reality. "Wait," Jason said, his eyes widening. "What if we're thinking about this all wrong? We've been trying to seal the breaches, to push back against the void. But what if we embrace it instead?" Lyra's bioluminescent patterns flared in alarm. Embrace the void? That's madness. But Jason was already in motion, his fingers flying across the holographic displays. "RIA, access Zaxelo's restricted files. Search for anything related to quantum entanglement and multiversal harmonics." As ARIA processed the request, Jason turned to Lyra and Vela. "Zaxelo once told me that the multiverse is like a cosmic symphony. Each universe vibrating at its own frequency. What if, instead of trying to silence the void, we try to harmonize with it?" Vela's galaxy eyes widened in understanding. "A multiversal resonance cascade." "Exactly," Jason exclaimed. "We use the energy of the void itself to create a new equilibrium, a cosmic retuning." Aria's voice cut through their excitement. "Warning. Proposed solution carries extreme risk. Probability of success: 0.1%. Probability of accelerated universal collapse: 99, 99, 99%. Jason set his jaw, a glint of that infamous human determination in his eyes. Then we'll make our own probability. Humanity has beat the odds before, and we'll do it again. He turned to Lyra and Vela, his newfound family in this cosmic odyssey. I need you to buy me time. Convince the High Council to hold off on the entropy cascade. I'm going into the void. Jason, no. Lara cried, her hand grasping his arm. No human has ever survived direct void exposure. It'll tear you apart at the quantum level. But Jason's mind was made up. He squeezed Lyra's hand, then Vela's, drawing strength from their alien warmth. I have to try. For Earth, for Kepler 186f, for every world caught in this cosmic crossfire. As Lyra and Vela reluctantly prepare for their diplomatic mission, Jason suited up in a prototype quantum-shielded exosuit. The gleaming armor hummed with exotic energies, the pinnacle of Stellarian technology merged with human intuition. Oh yeah, Jason called out as he stepped onto the teleportation pad. Initiate Protocol Omega. If I don't make it back, tell Earth I'm sorry I couldn't say goodbye. The A's voice was uncharacteristically soft. Acknowledged Jason, and good luck. In a flash of blinding light, Jason vanished from the command center. When he rematerialized, he found himself floating in a realm beyond comprehension. The void stretched out in all directions, a maelstrom of impossible colors and mind-bending geometries. Reality itself seemed to fray at the edges here. Jason's suit crackled with energy, barely holding together against the cosmic forces buffeting him. He could feel the void pulling at him, threatening to unravel his very atoms. But he pushed forward, guided by a combination of Stellarian science and pure human instinct. As he ventured deeper into the quantum chaos, Jason began to hear something. No, not hear, feel. A vibration that resonated in his very soul, the cosmic symphony Zaxelor had spoken of. With trembling hands, Jason activated the multiversal harmonics device he'd cobbled together. It was a long shot, a Hail Mary pass across the cosmos. As the device powered up, Jason closed his eyes and thought of Earth, of the family he'd left behind, of Lyra and Vela, of every life hanging in the balance. Come on, he whispered, his voice lost in the void. Sing with me. The device unleashed a pulse of energy that rippled across dimensions. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like a wave gathering strength, the void itself began to hum. Realities shifted, dimensions realigned, and slowly, impossibly, a new harmony emerged. Back on Kepler 186f, alarms blared as reality itself seemed to hiccup. Lyra and Vela clung to each other, watching in awe as the void breaches began to stabilize, knitting themselves back together in a dazzling display of cosmic renewal. Hours later, as the dust of reforged galaxies settled, a battered but triumphant Jason materialized in the command center. His exosuit was in tatters, his hair had gone shock white, and his eyes now held a hint of the same cosmic depth as Vela's. But he was alive, and he was grinning. Did it work? He asked, his voice raw. Lyra and Vela rushed to embrace him, their joyous laughter all the answer he needed. As news of the averted catastrophe spread across the cosmos, Jason Reed of Earth became a legend. The human who harmonized with the void, who saved not just a world, but all of reality. But for Jason, the real adventure was just beginning. With the multiverse stabilized, a new era of exploration and discovery stretched out before him, and at his side stood Lyra and Vela, his partners in an eternal cosmic dance. Together, they would bridge worlds, unravel the mysteries of existence, and show the universe the true power of humanity's chaotic brilliance. For in the grand cosmic symphony, it was the unexpected notes that created the most beautiful melodies. The void convergence had been averted, but the song of the multiverse played on, and at its heart, a simple human from Earth had found his place among the stars. Nexus of infinite realities. The quantum-stabilized chamber hummed with otherworldly energy as Jason Reed, now known across the cosmos as the Void Harmonizer, prepared for his most daring expedition yet. His once ordinary human appearance had evolved. His shock white hair now shimmered with bioluminescent streaks, and his eyes held the depth of newborn galaxies. Neural interface online. Araya's voice resonated through the chamber. Multiverse map updated with latest quantum fluctuations. Jason nodded, adjusting the sleek exosuit that had become his second skin. Thanks, AIA. Let's make history, again. Lyra and Vela entered, that alien beauty now familiar and comforting to Jason. The Stellarian High Council is on edge about this mission, Lyra said, her silver-blue skin pulsing with concern. Traversing the nexus of infinite realities, it's never been attempted. Which is precisely why we must do it, Jason replied, a glint of that infamous human determination in his eyes. The Void Convergence taught us that isolation is no longer an option. If we're going to survive as a multiverse, we need to understand the connections between our realities. Vela's galaxy eyes swirled with a mix of pride and worry. Just come back to us, okay? The multiverse may need its hero, but we need our Jason. The tender moment was interrupted by a sudden alarm. Aria's voice took on an urgent tone. Alert. Dimensional anomaly detected. Unknown entity breaching local spacetime. Before they could react, a blinding flash filled the chamber. When it faded, a figure stood before them, a being that seemed to flicker between forms at once familiar and utterly alien. Greetings, Void Harmonizer, the entity spoke, its voice a chorus of countless realities. I am the Nexus avatar, keeper of the multiversal crossroads. Your actions have intrigued us. Jason stepped forward, his mind racing. This was unprecedented, contact with a truly multidimensional being. Us? He asked cautiously. The Nexus avatar's form shifted, becoming a kaleidoscope of possibilities. The Cosmic Conclave, guardians of the greater multiverse. Your harmonization of the void has sent ripples through realities beyond your comprehension. We've come to assess. Lyra and Vela moved protectively closer to Jason, but he held up a hand, signaling them to wait. He could feel it. This moment was pivotal, not just for their universe, but for all of existence. With respect, Jason said, drawing on every diplomatic skill he'd learned in his cosmic journey, we're just beginning to understand the interconnectedness of our realities. If there's a greater multiverse at stake, shouldn't we be working together? The Nexus avatar's form stabilized slightly, focusing on Jason with countless eyes from countless worlds. Intriguing. Your species' penchant for cooperation in the face of the unknown is unique. Perhaps there is potential here. Suddenly, the chamber dissolved around them. Jason, Lyra, and Vela found themselves standing on what seemed to be a vast platform suspended in the void between universes. All around them, realities bloomed like soap bubbles, each containing entire cosmic histories. Behold the nexus of infinite realities, the Avatar announced. The crossroads of all that is, was, or ever could be. From here, the fate of the multiverse is shaped. Jason's mind expanded, struggling to comprehend the sheer scale of what he was witnessing. He saw versions of Earth where history had taken radically different turns, realities where the laws of physics themselves were alien and beautiful. And through it all, he sensed a growing crisis, a cosmic imbalance that threatened everything. The Void Convergence was just the beginning. The Avatar continued, its voice somber. A symptom of a deeper malady affecting the very fabric of the multiverse. We've been seeking a solution for eons. Perhaps your human chaos is the key we've been missing. Jason turned to Lyra and Vela, seeing the same mix of awe and determination in their alien features that he felt in his heart. This was it, the ultimate challenge, the reason Zaxalor had chosen him as heir to a cosmic legacy. All right, Jason said, squaring his shoulders and facing the infinite expanse of reality itself. Let's save the multiverse. All of them. As if in response to his declaration, the platform beneath them began to shift, pathways of pure possibility stretching out in all directions. The Nexus avatar's form began to dissipate, merging with the very fabric of the multiversal crossroads. "The trials ahead will test you in ways you cannot imagine," the avatar's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. But remember, Void Harmonizer, in the symphony of infinite realities, it is the unexpected melodies that often prove the most crucial. With that, the avatar vanished, leaving Jason, Lyra, and Vela standing at the threshold of all creation. Before them lay challenges beyond imagination, wonders beyond description, and the fate of every reality that ever was or ever could be. Jason took a deep breath, feeling the weight of infinite worlds on his shoulders. But he wasn't alone. He had Lyra's cosmic wisdom, Vela's multidimensional insight, and the unbreakable human spirit that had carried him from a dusty solar field on Earth to the very crossroads of existence. "So," he said, a grin spreading across his face as he gazed into the infinite, "where should we start?" Lyra and Vela's laughter echoed through the Nexus, a sound of joy and possibility that seemed to make the very fabric of reality resonate in harmony. As they took their first steps into the unknown, Jason Reed, the ordinary human turned cosmic legend, knew that the greatest adventure of all time and space was just beginning. The Nexus of infinite realities pulsed with anticipation, as if the multiverse itself was holding its breath. For in this moment, at the intersection of all possibilities, a new hope had emerged. A hope born from the chaotic brilliance of humanity, the wisdom of the Stellarians, and the unbreakable bonds forged in the crucible of cosmic crisis. Together, they would navigate the infinite, heal the cosmic imbalance, and write a new chapter in the endless story of existence itself. For in the face of infinite realities, it was the power of choice, of free will, of daring to imagine a better future across all dimensions that would light the way forward. The multiverse awaited, and Jason Reed, the Void Harmonizer, was ready to conduct its grand symphony. Quantum entropy's paradox. The crystalline spires of the hyperdimensional Nexus shimmered with ethereal energy as Jason Reed, the Void Harmonizer, stood at the precipice of reality itself. His once human form now pulsed with cosmic power, a living bridge between worlds. Beside him, Lyra and Vela's alien beauty had evolved, their forms now as fluid as the multiversal tides they navigated. Chronometric distortions detected in Sector Omega 9. Aria's voice echoed through their neural link. Temporal entropy reaching critical levels. Jason's eyes, swirling with galactic depth, narrowed in concentration. The quantum entropy paradox. It's spreading faster than we anticipated. Lyra's bioluminescent patterns flared with concern. If we don't stabilize the temporal rift soon, entire timelines will collapse. Billions of realities, erased in an instant. "Not if I can help it," Jason said, his voice resonating with determination. He reached out, fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "Oh, initiate protocol Schrödinger. Let's collapse these quantum wave functions our way." As the AI complied, reality itself seemed to hiccup. Timelines flickered in and out of existence, possibilities collapsing and expanding in a dizzying dance of cosmic probability. Suddenly, a new presence materialized before them, a being of pure chronal energy, its form constantly shifting between past, present, and future. Void Harmonizer, the entity spoke, its voice an echo across eons. "I am Chronos, keeper of the temporal confluence. Your meddling in the affairs of time has drawn our attention." Jason stood his ground, unfazed by the cosmic display. He'd come too far, seen too much to be intimidated now. "With respect, Chronos, we're trying to save the multiverse. The quantum entropy paradox threatens all of existence." Chronos' form stabilized momentarily, focusing on Jason with eyes that had witnessed the birth and death of universes. "And yet, in your attempts to save reality, you risk unraveling the very fabric of time itself. The temporal confluence cannot allow this." Vela stepped forward, her galaxy eyes blazing with cosmic fire. "You speak of rules and regulations, while entire realities burn. We need solutions, not bureaucracy. The air crackled with tension as two cosmic forces faced off, but Jason, drawing on the diplomatic skills honed across 1,000 worlds, raised a hand in peace. "Kronos," he said, his voice calm but filled with conviction, "I understand your concerns. But consider this. What if the quantum entropy paradox isn't a bug in the system, but a feature? A cosmic reset button?" The temporal entity paused, intrigued. "Explain, void harmonizer." Jason's mind raced, piecing together fragments of knowledge gleaned from countless realities. What if entropy isn't the end, but a new beginning? A way for the multiverse to refresh itself, to explore new possibilities. He waved his hand, and the space around them transformed into a breathtaking display of quantum probabilities. Instead of fighting the paradox, what if we guide it? Use it to prune dead-end timelines and nurture new, vibrant realities. Kronos' form flickered rapidly, processing the audacious proposal. "You suggest we ride the wave of entropy rather than resist it. Risky, unpredictable, very human." "Exactly," Jason grinned, that spark of human chaos shining in his cosmic eyes. "Sometimes the best way to solve a paradox is to embrace it, to find harmony in the chaos." For a moment that stretched across millennia, Kronos considered. Then, with a gesture that sent ripples through the time stream, the entity nodded. "Very well, void harmonizer. We will attempt your quantum pruning. But be warned, the consequences will echo across all of existence." As Kronos vanished in a flash of temporal energy, Jason turned to Lyra and Vela, his partners in this cosmic odyssey. Ready to rewrite the laws of reality again. Lyra's silver-blue skin pulsed with excitement. "Always, my love." Vela's galaxy eyes sparkled with anticipation. "Let's make some chaos." With a shared laugh that resonated across dimensions, the trio plunged into the heart of the quantum entropy paradox. Reality walked around them as they surfed the waves of probability, guiding the forces of cosmic renewal with a mixture of alien precision and human intuition. Timelines twisted and merged. Dead-end realities faded away while new, vibrant universes blossomed into existence. And at the center of it all was Jason Reed, the ordinary human who had become the conductor of the multiversal symphony. As the cosmic storm began to settle, new constellations of possibility twinkling into existence, Jason felt a sense of awe wash over him. They had done it. They had turned entropy itself into a force of creation. But their victory celebration was short-lived, for as the last echoes of the paradox faded, a new alarm blared through their neural link. "Warning," HFY's voice rang out, tinged with genuine concern. "Multiversal anomaly detected. Unknown energy signature approaching from beyond the known dimensional boundaries." The trio exchanged glances, a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration in their eyes. Whatever was coming, it was something entirely new, a challenge beyond even their cosmic understanding. Jason's lips curled into a smile, that irrepressible human spirit shining through. "Well then," he said, cracking his knuckles as reality itself seemed to hold its breath, "let's go make some new friends." As they prepared to face the unknown, Jason Reed, the void harmonizer, the quantum pruner, the bridge between worlds, knew that this was just another chapter in an endless cosmic story. For in the vast expanse of the multiverse, there would always be new horizons to explore, new paradoxes to unravel, and new harmonies to discover. And he, along with Lyra and Vela, would be there to face it all, one quantum leap at a time. The multiverse hummed with renewed energy, countless realities singing in newfound harmony, and at its heart, a simple human from Earth conducted the grandest symphony imaginable, proving once again that in the face of cosmic challenges, humanity's chaotic brilliance would always find a way. The adventure continues, across infinite realities and beyond.